One of these videos is going to be for Christmas. I don't know what one it's going to be, but it'll be interesting to see. That rhymed. So let's hope it's this one. Okay. Oh, it's the rain again. So this is by a guy called Radio TTS. And it's basically just a guy who gets people's stories on Ask Reddit and then puts them through text-to-speech and then makes revenue off of them, basically. See, when I did that, right, I always had to ask permission, because when I had a creepypasta channel, you have to ask permission because technically it belongs to them, and if you use it without their permission, they can DMCA strike you. And that happened to me twice, because at the beginning, I was very ignorant and stubborn, and I didn't ask people permission to take their stories. So this one guy, I included his story in two things. One video was the original and another was a marathon thing. And he decided he strikes my channel twice because of that very thing. So I just decided to give up on that channel because, I mean, like I asked permission for so long, and it was just the one time I didn't, I got striked, which sucks. But apparently this guy can get away with it, so more power to him. Fantastic stuff. Right, so this is Radio TTS. It's a little bit weird, but it's addicting at the same time. It's not necessarily funny. It's not funny at all. Some of them might be, but some of them are pretty cool, like life hacks and stuff like that. Others have like really scary stories and just really disturbing stories that are just addictive to listen to. But yeah, this one's called Dark Web Users Share the Scariest Encounters.
Warning, this content may be upsetting or disturbing to some audiences.
So we're just gonna listen to the stories and we're gonna have a little conversation about them.
A bunch of rich people on a forum discussing the best ways to abduct children.
Jesus.
People who have been on the deep web. What's the scariest thing you've found? I used to take pictures of drugs for a local Silk Road dealer. I was over his house once and he was testing out some onion links, and he suddenly said, "Oh my God, look at this."
Wait, what?
It was a site where a guy in America would have sex with the corpses of dead animals, and post his experiences with graphic pictures and descriptions.
I bet people paid for it as well. There's just, guys, think of something weird, right? And it's a kink. I'm not kink shaming, but this is fucked up, okay? This isn't a kink. This is disturbing. But just think of anything, right, sexually related that's just awful, maybe. Like, I don't know, farting into cups and then breathing them in, right? Someone will pay for that.
If you scrolled a bit further, you saw he moved on to humans.
Oh!
I walked away from the computer pretty quickly.
Jesus.
A hitman site. No idea if it was a scam. I'd be willing to bet they just take the money and run, but I noped out quick anyway. It was like...
Well, technically, yeah, it's untraceable. They don't have to do it. Like, they could just take your money, and because you're paying to kill someone, it's not like you're going to go to the police and go,
"Yeah, this hitman took my money. I ordered him to kill my girlfriend, but he just took my money and run. So can you go get my money back, please?"
"Sir, you're coming with us. You're under arrest.
Like you
fucking freak."
Pay them the equivalent of $5,000 up front in Bitcoin, and they kill someone of your choosing.
Bitcoin's crashing now. It's illegal to trade cryptocurrency in the UK now, I think. I don't know if that's true. I read an article.
It up and you pay the rest later. Scary as hell. While randomly clicking around Tor one night, I found a site with a riddle and a text box to enter an answer. After figuring it out, it took me to another page that had a message to decode in another text box. Basically every page was a puzzle and got harder every time. I was 15 and not very smart with those kinds of things, so I found a forum where other people had discovered the site and were talking about it.
Okay.
Apparently on the final page it just displayed a date and a quote from Alice in Wonderland. I believe it was just a site made to be some sort of entertainment for very experienced decoders and programmers, but there was speculation that it was a hacker recruiting site, similar to Cicada 3300.
It wasn't Cicada, like it was, yeah.
Either way, it creeped me out.
Listen, I've got a minion in my hand. You're probably wondering why I've got a minion in my hand. Okay, well, Charlie snuck in one day, decided just to put it on the mic and leave. And for some reason now I'm holding it. I shouldn't be holding it, really. I should put it down. I don't know why we've got this. I don't know where this is from. But yeah.
Someone showed me this website that was like a stream feed aggregation on these pages, and there were hundreds of pages and each page had probably 50 streams on it. They were all feeds from do-it-yourself security cameras that people have in their homes that back up to the cloud.
Oh,
So
damn.
crazy to see. These people probably have no idea.
Yeah, there's probably someone watching me right now on the deep web. Hello, FBI agent man. Even though I'm in the UK.
I remember a long time ago there was a guy online that was trying to buy large quantities of bed bugs. When questioned why he wanted them, he basically said that he wanted to try to breed them to be resistant to normal methods of killing them, while simultaneously breeding in a weakness that only he knew.
What?
This way he could release them in people's houses and then force them to pay him to get rid of the bed bugs, since no one else would be able to kill them.
Oh, Jesus, that's kind of genius in a way, but like dark genius.
My own password. Found a chan that had a link to a website that when you put in an email address, it would show you the password in plain text if that email address had been pwned. Typed in one of my old, now closed, emails, and there it was. Just a blank page with my email address and password on it, sitting right there for anybody to find.
That is mental.
The
Jesus, no one's safe, guys.
scariest thing I saw was stolen credit cards or other identity theft items. Stuff that made it very easy to assume another person's identity. Things like child porn, torture videos, etc. are generally either fake stories or so hidden away that you wouldn't just accidentally stumble upon it.
No, that's a misconception with the dark web. The dark web, well, the deep web is just onion websites. Usually, like, websites put their test websites on an onion link so that they can test out the functionality or whatever, or something like that, I think. But yeah, if you want to find stuff like this, which, I mean, if you do, you're fucked in the head. But you have to know where to look, and you have to have some kind of inside knowledge. I don't know how you can just stumble upon this. I don't know, like, how it happens to, like, imagine like these big celebrity names that were on like the Epstein Island, right? I mean, how would you just say to like one another, like, hey, so you want to have sex with a child? No, I was just joking, wasn't I? Just joking. Kill him, quick! We're gonna have to kill him. How do you have a conversation about that stuff? I'm guessing that they put you. You know what? Let's not talk about it.
There are lots of easily available drugs, logins to websites, guns and weapons, though I'm confident most of those
I just realized that can be taken very, very out of context. What I just said. Oh, for God's
are
sake.
honeypots.
Whatever.
Back in 2015 with the Charleston shooting, there were many news reports on Dylan Roof's white supremacist website and the pictures that he posted. Being oddly curious, I decided to check it out. Since the website was already taken down in wake of the incident, I had to use Wayback Machine. However, all of the caches of the website lead to a photo of an unconscious man lying on the floor with blood spilling out of his head. I found none of the pictures shown in the news reports.
Oh, God.
One of the more interesting ones that I actually wanted to try was a forum dedicated to sharing insider trading tips. This way you could make investments that wouldn't be obvious insider trading because you wouldn't be linked to the company involved. However, part of the registration process was that you had to submit a tip that turned out correct.
Oof. Damn.
I wandered around.
You could be rich for life doing that. So you put in a tip of your company, and then other people have put in for their companies, and then you just get rich off of each other. I swear, I heard a thing that Elon Musk did that. Through his tweets, he kind of like put some kind of crypt, like saying that how, like, something about the stocks or something. It was crazy how he did it.
In the dark stuff about 10 years
He was giving like his traders hints on what to do with their stocks.
ago. Worst I saw was basically the Super Adventure Club from South Park. A bunch of rich people on a forum discussing the best ways to abduct children from different parts of the world, the different kinds of kids they owned, how to keep them hidden and healthy, how young is too young for different sex acts, etc. Made me depressed for a few months, and I was pretty messed up for a few years after. I removed Tor from my computer that day and haven't installed it since. I'm happier not knowing how awful humanity can be.
Jesus Christ. But how do you just stumble across this? Because you need the link. There must be a link somewhere. Like, unless it's just randomly generated links and then you click one and then just get sent to it. Surely there's... No, it doesn't matter. Don't go on the deep web, guys, okay? Just don't do it. It's not worth it.
This deep forum I somehow stumbled upon. It had extremely messed up people. By messed up I mean psychologically. There were people with suicidal tendencies. There were people telling them that nothing matters and suggesting different ways to suicide. There was this section dedicated to seducing family members for incest. I remember reading a dude's post saying that he's having feeling for his real sister. He tried a lot.
I'm sorry, guys. I just stopped. I'm cringing now because freaking I wasn't even paying attention to this. I just remembered when I read this line here, suggesting different ways to suicide. I used to have a friend who used to like think of the worst ways you could like die or inflict pain on yourself. And one of them was, oh my God. One of them was sliding down a slide, and at the end of the slide is like a cheese grater so that it slices off your skin and then you land in a pool of vinegar. I was like, what the f*** is wrong with you? What is wrong with you, dude? Why are you telling me this? Anyway.
But she rejected him, calling him crazy. He killed.
Why are we watching this? Because we have to. Okay, if no one else does, we're gonna have to. And I'm not trying to depress you guys. I'm trying to expose you to this channel, who usually adds kind of like, I don't know how to explain his content. But if you're like, I don't know, if you're into like the morbid, then this channel is great for you.
He then committed suicide because he couldn't take it.
Wait, what? Hang on.
I remember reading a dude's post saying that he's having feeling for his real sister. He tried a lot, but she rejected him, calling him crazy. He killed his sister. He then committed suicide because he couldn't take it. This made it to news and gave me shudders. I was incognito, so had no history. I couldn't find that site again after that the way I did before.
Jesus. I remember there was another story by this channel about a wife that was cheating on this guy. And he knew his wife was cheating with the neighbor. So because she set up her phone to delete messages and stuff like that after a certain time. So he knew this was going on. So he said to her, I want to install an antivirus on your phone. And then he re-enabled everything. And then he linked that phone to his laptop. And then his wife and the neighbor's wife went out to the cinema. And he was on the laptop with the neighbor who his wife was banging, supposedly. And as he was sat there, he was messaging this guy's wife, right? And he was reading it all unfold in front of him. He called them out about it when they were all together. But then the wife basically said, you can try and divorce me if you want, but you'll never see your kids again. Because this guy tried to commit suicide when he was in high school, right? So in a court, that is going to be an unfit father to keep children. So the woman will always win. So he went off, and then because this was a Reddit post, under the Reddit post, someone suggested that he just divorces her anyway because, you know, he needs to build up evidence against this girl to show that she's psycho. And then it was in the news that this wife, right, found out that he posted this on Reddit, looked at the reply, and then decided to kill her children, right, so that he couldn't take them away from her. And then she killed herself. That right there is so fucked up beyond belief. And it's a true story. Listen, the thing about that is it's a fucking horrifying story. But stories like that always pique my interest, not in a sickening way, but it's just like the morbid side of me is like, I like to know that these people exist just so that it reminds me to be more human. You know what I mean? I'm not a fucking psycho, guys. I trust me. I'm not a psychopath who gets off on this stuff. I just like to remind myself that there's people out there like this and that, you know, it reminds me to be more human. And, you know, it kind of gives you a lesson to just love the people around you more and more.
And used it as a mask. Those are the type of...
A friend of mine went digging and found a video of someone cutting a face from someone off his... Okay. It's getting a bit dark now, isn't it, guys? These are getting a little bit dark. My camera's glitching, man. It's the FBI man knows. Oh, God, stop. Guys, if I go missing, okay, if I somehow disappear, just know that I didn't go willingly.
By far the scariest and darkest thing was the hurtcore sites. Hurtcore is a fetish for people who get aroused by the infliction of pain, or even torture, on another person who is not a willing participant.
Okay, well, that's messed up.
Although it can apply to animals, adults or children, The hardcore sites on the dark web tend to be almost exclusively a subset of the pedophile sites. It can be so sadistic that even most pedophiles are repulsed by it. Videos and photos generally come out of poverty-stricken countries, but the market is worldwide. Google people like Peter Scully, Matthew Graham and Matthew Falder to get an idea of what lurks in the murkiest depths. This one's...
I don't want to Google that. Guys, let's just say, just to make this less dark, that these aren't true. It's just a fabrication, okay? It's just a weird horror story. Imagine it like that, and then it won't be so bad.
God, this was like over 8 years ago. Downloaded Tor out of curiosity to surf the dark web.
Oh, Jesus.
After entering and scrolling through the initial pages for
the Silk Road.
Drugs, legit US passports, or at least they claimed, Silk Road, I got to a page that was like a crowdfunding website.
The Silk Road was a real thing. It was a trading route that went all the way through Europe to, I think went to as far as China. I'm not sure. I think that's where they got the name from.
Except it's for hitmen.
Don't download Tor.
It seemed like people can post names of individuals they want to put a hit on. Then crowdfunding begins. Once it reaches a certain amount, I remember it was 60K, but my memory is hazy. Then a timer would appear underneath that person's page, which I assume was the time allotted for the hitman to do his job.
Oh my
the
God.
names are sorted from top to bottom by order of which individual's funding page is closest to their goal.
Wait, what? So people can post names of individuals they want to put a hit on, and then crowdfunding begins. Once it reaches a certain amount, I remember it was 60K, then a timer would appear. Jesus! Imagine seeing, it's not that Black Mirror episode, isn't it? When they vote who should get wasped or whatever. And then it turns out that everyone who voted for these people to get killed all got these killer bees sent after them. Crazy stuff. Merry Christmas, guys. You're definitely watching this on Christmas. Your family are gathered round, aren't they? There's your Nan. There's Nan Patty. There's Aunt Salma. You thought this was going to be a nice Christmassy themed video, didn't you? Well, no. Okay? This is reality. This is happening. And it needs... I can't take myself seriously with this fucking despicable minion. Merry Christmas, everybody. From Baz and the Twitch chat to you. Have a good one, okay? I'm 27 today when this video goes out. So yeah, wish me a happy birthday. What? Come on,